Hey cuties, what's going on? We're back at it with another tier list video for update 8. It's gonna be pretty much the same lineup other than a couple of the 1600s and pretty much just a couple of the top tier characters. Most of the low ones will stay exactly the same. I'm gonna throw in like the usual Goku, Deku, like Naruto and Luffy down here. They're best in this order. If I can get Deku in the front, there we go. If y'all want to know some of these placements, the ones I'm not going to explain are exactly the same from my last tier list video. So you want to know the explanation for those placements, just go look at those. So I'm going to go ahead and throw everything exactly where it was before for the most part. So I had Asta, Akaza, where's Sasuke? Sasuke, Killua, Itadori, Cherry, Natsu, no, Natsu before Cherry, and then Ichigo, because Ichigo's goated. Ichigo is very good. Out of all the starters, Ichigo should be like 300 gems. He's god tier, like in the starter category. And then not very pog. All right, I'm gonna put the rest of them there first, and then I'll explain why this last person is gonna go into the front of everything. Just let me. I'm trying to look to see what's up there. I use Shinra a little bit. Shinra is pretty good. Shinra goes. I moved him from the back of Not Very Pog to like right here. Shinra, I've used him a couple times on my alt account. Actually, I say he's probably above Rukia too. He's pretty good. Gray, I'm missing somebody. Oh yeah, the last one. All right, so I'm gonna re-explain while Naofumi is here. People for some reason try to defend this. I'm gonna break that down right here. Naofumi is utterly useless. His first ability is a shield bash. It barely has any AoE. It can, if you use your shield bash through a group of mobs, you're probably gonna miss just about all of them. It hits a single time and it barely does damage because Naofumi is made to be a tank. He doesn't do that much damage, no matter how good your cards are. His second ability, the only good thing about that, it has a little bit of AoE and it draws aggro, but all that really does, if you draw, for one, you don't want to use Naofumi solo. There's better choices. And if you're with a group and you try to use Naofumi and you try to draw aggro from somebody who knows how to draw in mobs and stuff like that, all that's gonna do is just separate the mob from the mobs from the carry or whoever's doing the most damage from. It's gonna take the mobs away from them when they're trying to gather them all up into one spot. And then it's going to take longer to just get through the whole dungeon as a whole because you're sitting there trying to draw aggro with Naofumi, trying to play Mr. Fantastic Tank over here and not do anything for the team. It's just awful. His 3 ability is probably the only good thing about him. There's nothing really bad to say about that, but the 4 gives, it's his ult cooldown, I'm pretty sure, is longer than everybody else's, and it only lasts for 4 seconds. It barely does any damage. It barely hits any. It's no point to it. And if you try to use him as assist, it's a 2-minute cooldown. It's a 2-minute cooldown, I'm pretty sure. It's something like that. It's some absurd number for a 4-second invincibility iframe. Like, no. There is no need for that whatsoever. That's why he goes down to Not Very Pog. He is the absolute worst 1600, and I will stand by that. If you talk to me enough, you know that I slander Naofumi a lot, and there's good reason for that. Alright, so moving on. I'm gonna start off by saying this too, for this next category. My last tier list, there is a bunch of you, for some reason, that are still stuck in the demon dimension and thinking that Rimuru is the best 1600. No, he is not. There's so many people that try to tell me Rimuru is better than Gojo. No. Simply no. His first ability barely has range. It doesn't hit that many times. His second ability, you don't have an iframe on. They finally just gave it a knockback, which makes it not awful. Which is which is why he's even in the top of Very Pog in the first place. If he still didn't have that knockback on his 2, he'd be way lower because the enemies can just go through his 2 and still attack him. But either way, he still has no iframe on it, so if you miss and there's still enemies behind you, you are going to get attacked. His 3 ability is like a less effective version of Gojo's 2, and then his ult is the best thing about him. It's best used as an assist. If you use it as a main and there's still enemies around you or the boss is still alive and attacks, as soon as you come out of your ult, you are going to get hit and you might die depending on how much damage they do. He is not the best whatsoever. Whatsoever. I don't care what anybody says. It's so, I don't know what ever made y'all think he's anywhere near Gojo, but people are trying to say, oh, why is Gojo up there? Rimuru's the best character. No, just no. I like, holy bro, some of y'all, I question your intelligence, like seriously. All right, so next, the rest of this is probably gonna stay the same. Actually, from what I noticed recently, Todo, I will put Todo now above Megumin. I kind of want to say Saber too, but not really, because Saber's, the reason why Todo's assist, his assist, what's it called? His assist, when you use it, like just like his ult, there's a delay before you use it, like before it activates, which is kind of sucky sometimes, but when it does hit, it does a good amount of damage, and I like using it better than I like using Genesis. So just for that reason, he goes above Megumin from my last tier list. But everything else in this category will stay exactly the same. Zenitsu, he's still bad. Until they give him an iframe on his 3 ability, he's going to stay down here because everything else is very subpar. I kind of want to put him in a not very pog, but he's alright, I guess. And then now a little below godly. Naruto, a lot of you are not going to like this, but I'm going to explain why Naruto is here. At first, he was alright, because he was good for a lot of things, I guess. But as the way things are now with the characters in the game, he is not the best for anything. For raids, he is not the best for raids. You don't want to use him as a main or an assist. For time challenge, he's like 4th best now, because Ryuka's better than him, Kirito's better than him, Rengoku's better than him in time challenge, and that's pretty much about it. I think Bakugo's probably a better choice than time challenge to him, to be honest. So yeah, Naruto is really just not useful enough to be up here anymore. He's just not. I don't care what any of you say. He's really not. If you look at who else is in here, he's not comparable because he's not the best in anything. If he was the best in at least one thing, it would make sense, but he's not. So, Rengoku, just because I would put him lower, but just because he's better than Naruto in time challenge, he's gonna go behind him. Naruto is not the best at anything, but he's better than Rengoku in everything except time challenge. Because Rengoku's, if you use Rengoku in raid, and you know how he has the extra fire on his like 2 and his 3, if you leave that around, the boss can just run out of the fire. So it's like he can run or dash out of the fire, so you're just losing extra damage right there. So like immediate damage is better than damage over time. And time challenge, that's alright because you can just lead the enemies there or whatever. But in a raid, when you can't really control what the boss does, you kind of just have to not use him. You need somebody like Naruto can do immediate damage, but is better. Like Gojo's better, Saber could be better, Genos is better, all that, because they can do immediate damage like right there, and you can kind of control where that damage goes. But when Goku's fire, you really just can't. It just leaves there. It just leaves in a certain spot. And then the boss can easily just move out of it. You know, it's no point for him. But just because he's better than Naruto in time challenge, he's gonna go right behind him. And then Yuji I want to put higher too, but there's really no space for him to go higher. He's a very good starter, like a very good introduction to the 1600 category, just because of his, I don't know, I explained it in the last video, I'm pretty sure. If you want to know these placements, you can go look at the last video. They're pretty much exactly the same. I'm gonna save these two for last, just because they're new. Ryuka, we all know why Ryuka's first. Well, I forgot about Bakugo. I misplaced somebody, but there we go, Bakugo. We all know why Ryuka's first. Gojo, I will re-explain this, and since people still ask. Gojo, the reason why Rimuru stands. Rimuru stands. The reason why Rimuru is not above Gojo in this tier. Gojo is unmatched in boss killing capability. There is nobody who can kill a boss faster than Gojo, but only if you have at least decent stats. I recommend getting at least a 35% crit chance and an 80% crit damage if you want to be able to use Gojo properly. But Gojo is the absolute best for raids. And when you go to dimensions, once you do dimensions, if you do the reset meta and you switch to Gojo for the final boss, Gojo will kill that boss faster than any other character you have. As long as you know how to dodge properly and you have the damage for it, he will kill the boss faster than anybody you have. So he is the best for raid, and he is liable for dimensions. He's part of many strats for clearing dimensions faster. Just ask any speedrunner or anybody who can clear the dimension in a decent time. And for time challenge, he's definitely nowhere near the best, but you can still get a solid 750 with Gojo. So that's why he is in Godly. He's the best for at least one category, and he's also liable in other game modes. Kirito, he is the third entry for Godly now. Kirito is probably he's probably either the best or second to Ryuko in time challenge now. Kirito is an absolute god at wave clearing. If you want to just attack a group of mobs, just straight up go ham. Kirito is the man for that. He's probably one of the best dimension clearers now too. Cause his one is pretty much a dash. He can go forward fast. It's pretty much like an extra dash. If you use him kind of like how you use. Alright, I ran out of space on my PC. I guess because all the videos I did today, and I forgot to delete off my thing after I uploaded them. But yeah, also I apologize for the language. I said the word on accident again. I've been a little heated up today because of this tier list, trying to explain my points. But where I left off, I think, is Kirito's dash. His one ability you can pretty much use as an extra dash, just like you can for Ryuka, Rengoku, and Yu-Gi-Oh! So he has good movement. He has top tier wave clearing ability, meaning it's good for clearing out mobs and dimensions and time challenge. He's probably one of the best for clearing dimensions and one of the best for time challenge. So he absolutely deserves to be up here. Asuna. Oh, he also has a movable ult. Ryuka and Asuna are the only other two with movable ults. So just that alone puts him above everybody else down here, because their ults can't move. You can just move with his ult and just clear out stuff while you're ulting. So nobody can argue against that. Asuna, because of the movable ult, she goes above, I want to say above Rimuru as well. She pretty much is just like Kirito with great AoE, plus she has the movable ult. It's not, you know what, just because of the fact that it's not, her ult doesn't really have too much AoE, I'll put her above Rimuru. I wouldn't put her in a little below Godly, but she is definitely very pog. For an 800 jump character, she is nutty. If you have not tried Asuna out, I recommend it. If you want to see what she does, you can look in my Kirito showcase video. I also showed her off a little bit in the character testing facility. But yeah, the placements I did explain. The placements that I did not explain, I explained them in my last tier list video, so you can go check that out if you want to. But feel free to voice your opinions. I will gladly debate you. I've been doing that in the last tier list because a lot of you have wild opinions, and like I said, I question your intelligence with some of you. But anyways, feel free to debate your opinions, state your opinions in the comments. There's nothing against your opinion, but I play the game enough to know certain things, and some of the things some of y'all spout, like Rimuru being better than Gojo and the best 1600 character in the game, are just straight nonsense. So yeah, but anyways, if you enjoyed, like, comment, whatever your opinion on the tier list, or whatever your something. Subscribe if you want to see some more. I'm going to be dropping one more video probably tomorrow, and I might be streaming right after this video uploads too. So if you want to stop by, feel free. But I think that's about it. Discord link will be in the description as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.